All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Spread Podcast. I'm here once again with George and Christian. Again, we got a lot to get into. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on, so some big news in the MLB, some big news in the NHL. Let's start off in the MLB. The Mets making a big trade, trading Brandon Nimmo over to the Texas Rangers for Marcus Semien. Christian, you're a big Mets fan. What do you think, man?
I mean, it's kind of one of those wait-and-see things where we have to see what we do in the offseason. Obviously, I think the general managers made that trade with the intention of that, okay, we're going to go for Kyle Tucker or even Bellinger to fill out that gap in the outfield. But it's kind of one of those wait-and-see things. Well, the first priority is we need to re-sign Alonso. That's the first thing. And then we can worry about that outfield position. But I like it. Semien's shown what he can do. He's a solid, steady second base, good defender. He can hit. He's hit 40 home runs previously in his career. If he can get that bat hot again, I think, it could be a good move, but I can't definitively say today whether we won that trade or not. It really depends what we do moving forward.
Yeah, good point. I mean, again, World Series winner as well, we may add. Again, I mean, me and Joe have experienced watching him with the Jays. Of course, he was with the 1 year that he was with the team. He was very, very good. I'm pretty sure that was the year he had 40 home runs, I believe.
Yeah, and he was second in the MVP, or third in the MVP behind Vlad.
He had a great year in his year with us. So I think it's one of the premier infielders in the league, and I think this could be a good trade for the Mets, especially like you said before, if they get Bellinger or Kyle Tucker, one of those big name, big fish outfield free agents in the market today. But I'm very curious to see how it works out for them. And again, like I agree with what you said there with his bat. If it gets to 30 or even 40 home runs,
even 30 would be excellent.
Honestly, 30 would be much needed for that team. And if he can provide that for them, I can see them back in the playoffs if he really gets back to that level.
It's kind of surprising that they traded first instead of going for Alonso. You know what I mean? Like I would expect them to sign Alonso first and then move on to making other trades. Because once you get Alonso, then you can say, okay, let's go for a big fish, maybe Murakami or Imai, and we'll really have to see. But I think the Mets are shaping up pretty good for next season, but they need to sign pitchers. They need pitching.
It's all what they do.
It's not offense.
Pitching is a huge problem as well.
We
need an ace. I've said it over and over again. We need an ace. What we have, our rotation right now is just not going to cut it. But obviously it's difficult to see Brandon Nimmo go, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And as long as we build from this, we build the outfield, we can sign even a good starting pitcher. I consider that as a success if we re-sign Alonso as well.
Yeah, well, now they're probably going to try and give the bag to Kyle Tucker. They're going to go fishing for him. So that'll be really interesting to see where he goes, especially does he want to go to New York or does he want to go to Toronto or, what do you think, George?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Yeah. There's been so much speculation and rumors regarding Kyle Tucker over the last couple of weeks since the season ended. I did hear some report that he does no interest, that he's not expressed any interest in playing for the Dodgers, and I don't think he wants to go back to Chicago. So again, you can start eliminating teams from there. But I think it'd be a great ad for the Mets, for a team that, again, now with the trade, their outfit's a little bit weaker, and they do need a big fish guy out there. I think Kyle Tucker can definitely provide that for them.
Of course, I agree 100%. Also, some other news coming out of that MLB is from the NPL, Imai, the pitcher, was posted, and he said that he doesn't want to play for the Dodgers. He wants to beat Yamamoto and Ohtani, and he wants to go to a team that can beat them. So I don't know, man.
I mean, I'd welcome him to the Mets, but
the Mets can beat him. The Mets can beat the Dodgers.
We're the closest.
To be fair,
we were just there. We were just there in the NL Finals. We were just there 2 years ago in the NL Finals. We at least took them to 6.
I don't know, man. You guys didn't even make the playoffs last year.
Right. If we re-sign Alonso, we've got a lot of work to do, but we still got Juan Soto. We still got Pete Alonso to build around. Those are two of the greatest stars in the game.
Yeah, I agree, but you guys gotta sign Alonso, man. That should be your number one priority right now.
Assuming we re-sign Alonso, which I think they want to, obviously.
I don't know. I could see Imai going to the Jays. I'm gonna be honest.
That'd be great.
He could.
You move Barrios to the bullpen. You have a rotation of what? It would be Gosman, Savage, Imai, Bieber, and then I don't know, the fifth. Maybe they would do maybe they would stick with Barrios as a starter. I don't think they're going to re-sign Scherzer or Bassett.
Scherzer's gone.
No
so
chance.
Unless they re-sign Bassett. But normally the MLB still has been pretty slow so far. Like, not many signings.
Yeah.
Normally it starts up in December.
The only thing I'm concerned about is everyone's saying, oh, I don't want to go to the Dodgers. I have to build my own legacy until they get thrown that massive contract. Then the money talks, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything as a given. I'm not taking what anyone says. They're saying, oh, I don't want to go to the Dodgers. I'll join a team. We'll beat them. Yeah. I'm not taking that as a given. Anything is possible at this point in the MLB free agency. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. I agree. Exactly, I mean, a lot of teams could be using like other teams like the Mets or the Jays as leverage for the Dodgers to give them more money, right, and to rush into signing them. But I don't think Imai from Japan wants to sign with the Dodgers. It sounds like he's totally against the idea of that, which is what I brought up a couple episodes ago. I said that. I said that. Okay, maybe they don't want to join the Dodgers. They want to kind of create their own legacy, right? Which is interesting, but I mean, still pretty slow off season in MLB. It's gonna really start probably picking up in December. I think there's gonna be a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, with that being said, Christian, some news in the NFL, another rough week for your team. What do you think about the Bills?
Yeah, nothing's new. It's the same old story. It's the offensive line was absolutely atrocious. That was the highest sack, the game that Josh Allen got sacked the most in his career, 8 times. Because our offensive line couldn't do anything. First of all, I don't know what McDermott was thinking. Let's leave Spencer Brown. He's clearly in there. He's clearly struggling with an injury. You take so much time to replace him, and then we have this offensive line that's getting destroyed all game. Allen's running for his life. He can't scan the field and make the proper throws. He had 2 picks. Like, at what point does Brandon Beat admit, like, okay, this team's not built for success. We need a receiver. We have all these flaws I haven't addressed. And it's the same thing every season. They never learn. And we see this every week. It's not just, 1 week they're good. These flaws come up every week. The defense was absolutely terrible. You lost to Davis Mills. So there's just really nothing more for me to say. I'd be repeating the same thing I've said before and before and before. The offensive line struggles. Josh needs a number 1 receiver. The run defense is bottom 3 in the league. McDermott's a terrible head coach with an outdated scheme. Bean is afraid to make a big move. And that's basically what I've said the entire season. And it all applies to why we lost that game and why we're not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Losing to Davis Mills is crazy. That's all I'm going to say. No CJ Stroud. They use their backup quarterback and they get the victory. I don't know, man. We'll see where they go from here. But again, like I said, I also said the same thing last time, and they're just starting to, I guess, prove your points more and more factual.
Unfortunately,
in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see what happens from here.
Do the Bills still make the playoffs, you think?
I think they'll make the playoffs, but they got to go on the road. And the reality is they've struggled this year. I think they're 1-4 on the road, but they've won pretty much all their games at home. So they're a home team. They play great at home, but once they get on the road, it's a different story. They can't communicate at the line of scrimmage. The play calling is terrible, and obviously that has to do with the regular difficulties of being away, but man, they can't play on the road, let alone win 3 games in the playoffs on the road. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, speaking of games on the road and winning games on the road, for those who aren't aware, Shedeur Sanders actually won his first career start on the weekend against the Raiders in Las Vegas. And there's a lot of excitement for a lot of Browns fans. I know a lot of Browns fans myself, and I know some of them are probably watching this right now. And they are something to look forward to a little bit. Again, it's only 1 game. Obviously, a lot of quarterbacks, it takes time to really develop and get their footing in the league. But and of course, it's also against the Raiders, who are not a very good team. But generally, I think it's a pretty good start for a team that hasn't had anything really to be excited about over the last couple of seasons here.
I'm not impressed with Shedeur. He threw that 1 check down that went for 60 yards. He threw that terrible interception. They got the win, but come on. Realistically, that's all credited to the defense. The defense was amazing. They had 8 sacks. Miles Garrett's the runaway defensive player of the year. And then he has the audacity at the end of the game to go up to the mic and he's like, "Oh, I'm here," or like, "I'm the quarterback now," or like something like. Does nobody?
Kind of seems like he's acting like a savior.
Does nobody media train these people? Like, I'm like, what causes you to say that? What are you thinking in your head? Yeah, I'm not gonna give. I'm a rookie quarterback. I just threw check downs. I made one good deep pass. My defense made 8 sacks. We beat one of the worst teams in the league. And then you talk with your ego instead of saying, my defense was really great. I'm glad I could step in and be a part of this. No, you resort to your ego. So that's why.
Look at his dad, though. Like,
yeah,
his dad's the same, right?
I mean, he's benefited from nepotism in that way.
But he has a big ego. Like, that's the thing.
Again,
you can't. But like in other sports, you don't see that really. Like, I mean, a bit in NBA sometimes, but
hockey, that's really unconventional.
Hockey, no, that you don't see that. Baseball, no, you don't see that.
Definitely not in hockey, no.
No,
I almost never see them in hockey, no.
But I don't know, man. The Browns, they need a QB, so whatever works,
Shedeur Sanders is not the answer.
I guess it works for now. That's the question. Again, it's only been one game, but will it be the answer? That's
that's going to take a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of, I guess, I don't say comebacks, but another big game from this past weekend was the incredible comeback of the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Yeah. 21-0 down, and they win 24-21 against the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. What are your guys' thoughts on that game?
I mean, yeah, it was a fumble fest, like a ton of fumbles. Like, I was like, it looked like every play the ball was slipping. I was like, what is going on? And then, shockingly of all, Brandon Aubrey misses a field goal. I'm like, what is this game? But the Cowboys, yeah, they found a way to win. They're a good home team. They're 3-1-1 at home, with the tie coming against the Packers, and they've got a big home game coming up against the Chiefs. So that's very important. But yeah, they got it done. They forced turnovers when they needed to, and got to give them a lot of credit. They're in the playoff hunt right now, and I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they'll make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's one of the very, very key games over this American Thanksgiving weekend slate of games. One of the other games, the first one that kicks off the Thanksgiving slate tomorrow, is the Packers and the Lions game. Very, very critical matchup in the NFC North there. Obviously, both teams currently trail my Chicago Bears by only one game, but it's an absolutely monumental game for both teams in order to get more placement and get more traction in that division.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cowboys need it because I saw a statistic. They're probably to make the playoffs decreases into the single digits if they do not win that game, but it'd be like 20-something% if they do win. And the Chiefs, they'd be at like 70-something% if they do win that game to make the playoffs, and then they'd be under 50% if they do not win that game to make the playoffs. So I think the Cowboys might actually win it outright, just because the Chiefs have struggled all year on the road. They're 1-4 on the road. Their wins have come at home. They're 5-1 at home. Yeah, and obviously they have to travel to Dallas. Dallas is already in Dallas, traveling there on a short week. I think the Chiefs are actually going to struggle quite a bit in Dallas.
I really hope they lose that game. I'll tell you
I hope the Chiefs lose as well.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think, do we want to talk a bit about the first place implications between the Eagles and the Bears?
For the other game on the Thanksgiving, on Black Friday, Eagles and Bears, it's going to be a battle right now for the 1 seed. Listen, I'll be real with you. The Eagles are a much better team. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised that the Bears are even in this predicament right now. But and obviously the game's in Philadelphia. I think the Eagles should take care of business pretty easily here in this game. But again, I just want to stay optimistic, and I'm also going to be keeping a lot of eyes on the Packers and Lions game, of course, like I mentioned earlier, because obviously that can also be a very big indicator as to what happens for the remainder of the season and who claims the division at the end of the day. I want to move on to our next topic and our set of topics in the National Basketball Association, the NBA. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about Christian's Thunder and how dominant they have been to start the season right now. But one team that's been flying under the radar and it seems like the media's not been given enough credit to is the Detroit Pistons on the Eastern Conference. They are absolutely flying right now. They've only lost 2 games, and they're
13-game win streak.
Yeah, 13-game win streak, and their young core is absolutely flying.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's honestly crazy to me to comprehend that last year they went on a 28.
That wasn't last year. That was the year before.
Sorry, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, Thanks for correcting me there. 2 years ago, they had a 29 game losing streak, the longest in NBA history. And here they are now, 2 years later.
They're playing some great ball, man. I think I had them second in my third in my Eastern Conference. I got to give you credit for that because you believe in all of us. That's all I said. But like, I like Cade, man. I like Duran. I like Thompson. I like Harris. They got a good team, man. They got a good, young, feisty team. I think that this is the year that they really solidify themselves as a top, 3 or 4 seed in the East.
Oh, absolutely.
And then next year, maybe they'll start to contend a bit more in the playoffs, right? Making it to the Eastern Conference Finals over teams like Boston. And the Eastern Conference is so open, so we can, we don't really know what's going to happen. But I really like the direction they're going.
Yeah.
Maybe, in 2026 is next year, so maybe in 2028, maybe they might win a chip. You never know; they could win one eventually. The only thing is in the West you have the Thunder and you have the Spurs and the Lakers who are gonna be really dominant. Yeah. But it's good to see teams like the Pistons doing good again, and even the Raptors, man. Seeing them do good.
Oh yeah.
It's really fun to watch.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
It's really fun.
They are on fire as well right now.
They are doing really good.
It's great to see from them.
Christian, what do you think of the Raptors? As a non-biased perspective, what are your thoughts on the Raptors?
I think they've been excellent. Like Scotty stepped up, Brandon Ingram has stepped up, RJ Barrett. The whole team has really stepped up, and it's wow, they're all. I feel like they've known what the issue is. They've had great pieces, good, but they don't have that number one guy. So you kind of see everyone kind of competing, trying to be that number one guy, and they're all producing at such a high level.
Yeah.
And they're winning games, they're playing as a team. So there's a lot of good things about this Raptors team. I still think if they want to become a serious contender, they do need to add someone, but they've got a great foundation. There isn't really much bad I could say about the Raptors. They're a great team. I think people anticipated they were going to be around a play-in, maybe make the playoffs. I think they're a lock for the playoffs at this point. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go from here.
I agree. I think the one thing that surprised me the most is how well BI has been playing when coming back from injury.
Yes.
He's been, the other night he put up 37 points, which is really good. Yeah. And his mid-range is so smooth, dude. Yeah. He is so, it's so pure.
He's literally a B-Tech Kevin Durant almost.
Yeah.
He's got everything, all the tools of Kevin Durant, but it's not as good as him, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. And, from watching him in LA to New Orleans, now he's with the Raps. It's so fun to watch him. And, it's just, I think they can compete in the playoffs. Maybe they can win a round or two, possibly, again, because the East is so open. Yeah. There's so much parity.
2 rounds, I don't know.
2 rounds
I still think Cleveland and the Knicks are going to have a comeback.
But
they'll be at the top.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think if the Raps continue this for the rest of the season, if they're playing this well, I can see them as a contender in the East for sure.
Absolutely.
Because Boston's not really contending. Indiana isn't.
Yeah.
So, but I think we should move on to the Western Conference. Talk a little bit about that. Top 3 is pretty ordinary. I think
no surprises really there. I don't think.
Yeah, but it's the Thunder, Nuggets, and Lakers. The Thunder have been playing some good ball, but I want to talk about how the Suns. They're in a playoff spot right now. Devin Booker has been carrying them, playing some good ball lately.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy for the Suns because I thought they were going to compete last year, but they didn't.
Oh yeah.
So it's good, man. It's good that they're playing well.
Especially since the Kevin Durant trade and obviously the situation with Bradley Beal. It's actually pretty. I don't want to say surprising, but I wasn't expecting them to be in this predicament as they're in right now, and I got to give them all props because a lot of guys, unknown guys like Connor Gillespie has really been taking over for them and really helping them out.
Yeah.
And there are other guys. Dylan Brooks from the Kevin Durant trade has been unbelievable this season, and Mark Williams has been a good addition from the draft. And they've just looked pretty. They've looked pretty good, and they've been playing better than I thought they would be playing this season. And they haven't really came out of that trade as unscathed as I thought they would.
No, it's benefited them. Sometimes you have that dynamic where like you have a star and it's just not working out. The system doesn't work out.
Or especially multiple stars as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that trade has allowed Devin Booker to really find his game, and he's become the star he is because of that trade. He's taken on a different role where he's scoring a lot more, and Dylan Brooks has obviously been amazing. So
I'm going to be honest, I never liked the duo of KD and Devin Booker.
Me neither.
I like Booker. Booker is such a good player. He's so dynamic. He's a three-dimensional scorer, but like him and Durant together, they're both like ball dominant scorers.
Exactly.
Right?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't add up. Phoenix literally traded for Durant because they had the option to. They didn't trade for him because it would benefit them in any way. Like it wasn't. It was not a good trade in my opinion. But now there's maybe starting to see the aftermath of that and seeing Booker play on his own.
Yeah.
That's why Booker, when he played with Chris Paul, it was such a good duo, man. They were so good together, and Ayton, and that's why they were such a good team. And it sucks now that CP3, obviously the news this week coming out, he's retiring.
Exactly,
at the end of the season with the Clippers, which is, it's sad.
Like
he's
he's going to retire without a championship.
Exactly.
Hey,
unless
you never know.
Unless he gets traded.
Hey, you never know. He might be a coach. He's some of the best basketball IQ ever.
As a player,
he could be a coach. I could see him being a coach.
I could too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But another team that has been, catching some headlines lately is the Kings.
Yeah.
They might be shipping out some guys.
They have been very, very poor, and they obviously were prioritizing their season a lot on adding, I guess, experienced and former All-Star veterans. Obviously, Westbrook, they added in free agency. They also acquired Levine, DeRozan from, I believe, last summer. And it's just not working out at all. It's just not working out at all. And they... It's crazy to think that only a couple years ago, I believe they were the 3rd seed in the Western Conference.
And they lost to the Warriors.
And they had Fox and Sabonis, and they had a solid core. They had Keegan Murray, Kevin Herter, all these guys, and Mike Brown was still there as well, and they looked like a pretty solid foundation. They had something going on there, and it's just been unbelievably poor mismanagement from their front office in the last couple of seasons here, and they're in a predicament now where they have a lot of old expiring deals that are not very good, and they have a lot of old guys who again haven't really found their form in the last couple of seasons here. And I mean, I guess all the signs are pointed to a major fire sale with the Sacramento Kings because I mean,
if they can't get it together soon,
they can't get it together.
They have to clean house. I don't think there's an option. DeRozan has to go.
Yeah.
Russ has been playing so good though, man. It's good. I'm so happy to see him.
He's the one like good thing. That's really been coming out.
I'm really happy to see him playing well.
Me too, as a Thunder fan. Obviously, I want to see Russ playing well, but the Kings have to take this.
Bring him back to the Thunder.
Hey,
honestly,
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think the point is that the Kings, they have to take advantage of that, and they have to say, okay, this is our opportunity to trade him. Because we're clearly not going anywhere this year or the next year. We have to start stocking up assets.
And the thing is, it can't just be him too. It has to be everyone.
Everyone,
because their contracts are not good enough, and they have to
just complete tank,
completely
acquire assets and tank.
The Thunder have so many picks; they can trade a first-round pick for Russ.
But they're early. I don't know.
That's true. They are
true.
early.
We could trade our late one, but
if you like, I don't know, but you like.
I would want cool just because
to get him a ring.
They're unprotected picks from the Lakers and I believe the Jazz.
Yeah.
So
the Lakers one would work because that would be like a.
Sorry, not the Lakers, the Clippers from
the
SGA trade. That's Sorry, not the other LA.
Yeah.
That's why I'd be opposed to like trading those.
For sure,
they're lottery picks, more than likely. They could shoot up, and then all of a sudden you've traded away.
But even if the Kings are sellers at the deadline, they might just want the bare minimum for Russ, right? To get him on a championship team. You know, if they can get something like a second-round pick even, and like a young player, like, I don't know, whoever you guys have, like a 13th man or something, because you guys have so much depth.
Yeah,
so.
we have a lot of good young prospects in that team,
you know who else is doing really good is the Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat are quite literally on fire. Like, they have been very, very good. They are number one in offense right now, I believe. And a team that seemingly had no direction, or we all at least thought had no direction heading into the season. Again, credit to Coach Eric Spoelstra and the organization there. Man. They always find a way to, I guess, surprise everyone and maintain that competitive nature throughout Heat culture, and they look really, really good right now for a team that again had nothing going had nothing really going forward from the beginning of the season.
Hey, man, former Raptor Norman Powell. He
about
has
to
been
say,
hooping.
Norman
All-star
Powell,
Norman Powell.
Yes.
All-star.
Yes.
That guy is a
Bucket.
baller, man. He's a bucket. Stormin' Norman, man. I miss him in Toronto. I remember when they traded him for Gary Trent. I was like, okay, maybe this guy Gary Trent's gonna be a good guy,
He was for a little bit,
player,
and then
but
we immediately realized that Powell's.
Powell's.
That was a tough
They
trade.
should have never traded him to the Trailblazers.
That was a tough
I was
trade.
questioning that. I was like,
Yeah,
why?
They could have gone so much more for him
Yeah,
too. They got like
of course.
Rodney Hood and Gary Trent Jr.
And Gary Trent and like another bench guy. It was
Yeah.
like,
NBA legend Rodney Hood.
Raps legend. No, but honestly, man, he's been hooping there. And is Hero healthy? Or is he injured?
I think he's been dealing with.
He's been dealing with something. I think
But they still have
on-
Adebayo. They have
still have
Powell.
Ben.
They have
Wiggins-
Hawkins.
Wiggins has been doing
They've
good
got
as
good
well.
pieces,
Hawkins.
which is.
How many
Hawkins has been
Hawkins?
great.
I
off
can't,
the
I'm
bench,
sorry,
yeah.
I cannot pronounce his name. I'm not even going to butcher his name, but he's been playing good. I'll tell you that. But it's kind of interesting. Obviously, they moved on from Butler last year.
Yeah,
You'd expect them to just like tank or be like
Yeah.
very mid or like
Yeah.
maybe you scrape the 10th seed. So this
That's
is
where I thought
Yeah.
they'd be,
like
yeah.
really surprising.
But it's different. NBA teams, they tend not to tank as much as like NHL teams. And the NHL teams will tank always, but
Yeah.
in the NBA, like the Heat aren't tanking, the Raptors never tanked. You know, like it's just you don't see it as much. The Thunder tanked, and look at how well it turned out for them,
Yeah.
right?
They did.
So well. But before we move on to the National Hockey League, before we move to NHL and our hockey topics for today, you know what I'm going to say, Christian. You know what time it is. You know what we're going to talk about. Luka Doncic with a 43-point game
Okay.
last night. So
Christian, he's the MVP.
he's the MVP,
right now.
Christian.
Right now.
He's the MVP.
Sure, if the season ended today, he's the MVP. But it's not gonna
So
end
who are you going to put as power rankings for number one in MVP? Who's your take?
Right now, Luka and Jokic.
So
Well,
right
I
now,
think
Luka's number one.
What we find out, like I said earlier.
But you said no. But LeBron played last night.
Yeah, LeBron's played 2 games. And
Yeah.
and he's been limited, and he's done nothing.
He hasn't been limited.
Well, he hasn't been scoring much. So
Yeah, he has. He put 25 up last night.
he scored like 10 points in his first
He
game.
scored 25 last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against who did they play?
Luke against the Clippers. Okay, the Clippers aren't that good, but still.
They're not
Young squad.
Again, I mean, like LeBron's played all of 3 games. Like, come on.
Still, man. I don't
I'm not denying Luka's a great player. Of course he is. And if the season ended today, sure, he's the MVP. But I think what's gonna happen is
You heard it here. You heard it right here, folks.
Shea.
Luka's the MVP.
If the season ended today, but what we see is that Shea sustains his numbers. Luka, it'll be a bit of a struggle during the midseason.
Yeah,
period.
but I don't know.
LeBron's gonna take an even bigger role, and she's just gonna continue to score.
But I think what they're setting up
30
for,
plus
I think what
every
they're
night.
setting up for is when LeBron eventually does retire and his career does finish, is that Luka is going to be the number one guy for
Well,
the
of
next
course.
10 years,
That's a
right?
given.
100%.
Right,
Of course.
but I think that's what they're kind of like transitioning
Oh, yeah,
into.
100%.
So I don't think LeBron is going to have as much of a role this year
I
with
mean,
the Lakers.
how could he not? He's LeBron James.
That's the only
Of
thing.
course, I agree, but
you have
but
to-
you can
you
tell.
can't nullify
But if you
LeBron.
They
watch,
drafted
but if
his
you,
son, the organization
you're
did
right,
so much.
you're
for
right.
him.
But if you watch a Lakers game, like I was watching the game last night against Clippers, it wasn't LeBron James bringing the ball up the court every time. It was Luka Doncic. That's the thing. He's the number one guy.
I
man.
also watched a very interesting Lakers game where they played the Thunder, and I don't think Luka Doncic had a great game.
Listen, here's my honest opinion on the MVP race. I do agree with Joe, and I stand by it right now. This has ended today.
Yeah, I'm not debating
I
that.
think
If
Luka
it
Doncic
ended
is
today,
definitely
it's
the MVP
Luka.
because he's been absolutely
Okay.
tearing it up. For me, honestly, the main indicator for the MVP this year, we will honestly, it should not be based on this because it has been in previous years. It'd be based on how good and what the record looks like of the.
But that makes sense. That makes sense.
If
but
they win 70, if they get 70 wins or more, he will win MVP for that reason.
But 70 wins is a tall task, and I don't know if they can do that.
I
That's
think
the
they'll
only
reach 70.
I don't know, man.
They're on pace for it.
They are on pace for it, but
I think they will.
they keep up that pace?
Yes, because
That's the question.
we've had injuries. Where it's still 17-1, so I don't see why not.
If
But
they
then you
can
could argue
help
that LeBron's been injured and that the Lakers are going to come back and continue their streak. You know, and do even better than what they've been playing.
I think the Lakers will. I think that's the like I said before. I think that's the.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
Thunder Lakers. For
I
this
think
year,
that
at
could go
least.
7 games. I think it could go 7
I'd say
games.
Thunder in 6. It could go 7, but I think
agree with
Thunder in
Christian
6.
I think it's more 6, but I can also see the argument to 7.
Yeah,
I can see them both.
I don't know, man.
7,
I think like the Thunder at home. Yeah, I think they're gonna win all their home games. Yeah. But I think that the Lakers might win all their home games too. It could be like come down to
that could
that.
happen. Jokic forced 7.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
Again, we have to. Yeah. This Thunder team has gotten even better, even despite all the injuries. Holmgren's been in and out. Williams has been out basically the whole season.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Those are 2 of our top 3 players. So
yeah. Good point. I
don't really see the decline.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But like again, LeBron has been out for the entire season so far, and now he's just coming back. So we have to take certain things into account. Like obviously, injuries do matter, but we can't base a record truly off of injuries and that only, right? So I think the OKC will keep up their hot streak. But you never know. They might run into another couple of teams who are playing some really good ball, and they might go on a losing streak, right?
Or even
like Luka, right? He might like have a little bit of a fall off eventually, right?
Well, it's inevitable.
Thunder, you could say it's inevitable for the Thunder to have a fall off.
No, it's not the same.
I think it is the same.
No, because the Thunder are coming off a championship when they've had 2 of their top 3 players injured.
Yeah, but
LeBron's been out, but that's one guy.
If it's LeBron James, I'm playing with the second best player in the history of basketball, arguably the best.
Not this season. He's not the second best.
It's still LeBron. It's still LeBron.
I understand he's still a great player, but we're missing 2 of the. I think having Williams and Holmgren out is more of a detriment than having LeBron out at this age.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like LeBron's still one of the best players in the league, bro. You gotta remember that.
Where would you rank him? Like in the top
15?
Yeah, I don't think Williams is too far from that.
I agree, but
plus Holmgren as a big.
Fair enough.
Yeah, quantity over quality in that.
I'd say LeBron's probably around.
But again, like they also have
15.
DeAndre Ayton has been injured. But the West, the thing is with the West, you have such like.
I mean, if you want to list injuries,
right? We could do that the whole day. Yeah. But like you look at the West, man. There's such a discrepancy between the top and the bottom.
Right.
Right. So. You have teams like the Lakers and the Thunder. They can beat teams like Utah or the Clippers, right? Yeah. Easily.
Without their top guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's really going to have to, again, we can't predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen. So, who knows? The Thunder could go on like a 10-game losing streak, or Luka could go on a...
10 games, that's absurd.
Luka could play like a terrible month of I don't know, December or something, or January, right? We don't know what can happen.
Injuries as well can apply to anyone. Again, as I said before, LeBron was out for the first month or so of the season. Jalen Williams also out for a good chunk of the season to start as well.
And probably the funniest injury in all of sports in the past couple of weeks.
And moving on to the NHL right now.
Jack Hughes. On the Devil's dinner, cuts his hand, and he's out for 8 weeks.
That's
just bad luck.
Detrimental.
Come on, man. Poor Devils, dude. You gotta feel for
them. They were playing well too.
And now really good. They're in a wild card spot, or they dropped down.
Yeah. It was inevitable.
It just shows you how pivotal he is to that team.
Yeah.
And how much they need him.
Yeah.
And getting injured like that is just like.
Yeah.
It now puts his status for that up in the air. And I mean, he probably will be back for the Olympics. He probably should be.
Well, if we're talking 8 weeks, he probably will. Unless the Devils say no, you're not going to the Olympics.
Unless they say no, who knows?
You got to choose between the Olympics and between us.
Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. Who knows?
Because the Devils might not want him to get injured.
Yeah, but that's absolutely detrimental to the season thus far.
He's been playing so good, man. Like he's been one of the best players in the league without a doubt.
Unreal.
Like
he always has been.
He was arguably a hard candidate.
He was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Devils don't have the depth, and that's what I said before. They really need to get some guys into the bottom 6.
Yeah.
So that's a huge loss, especially when you don't have that depth to replace someone like Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
And their results have taken a hit as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do. They gotta him getting injured. It really sucks to see, for the Devils. And I think eventually they might say, okay, what are some we need to get that, because they have Heischer, and Heischer is like a center, right? He's a number. He has to slot into that number. He's a number 2 center on a good team, on like a championship team, right? He's a number 2 center without a doubt.
Number 1 center.
He can play number 1 center on almost any team.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's a good filler, But Hughes has to try and stay healthy because it's really getting to a certain point, and it sucks to see. And then the U.S. If he doesn't play for the U.S., that is going to be rough for them. That would be
very, very rough.
Be a big loss. But let's keep on the topic of injuries. The Montreal Canadiens have dealt with a lot of injuries this past couple of weeks. Kirby Dach is out. Alex Newhook is out. Caden Gooley is out for a little longer. And Laine is injured for a little while. So as a Habs fan, man, it sucks right now, but
it could be worse.
Very true. It could be a lot. It could be a lot worse.
You could be at the bottom of the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, you want to talk about this?
I don't want to, but I will. I will address it for sure. Yeah, it's just not looked good at all. The Leafs look awful, terrible, and they're just not playing well whatsoever. Injuries is a part of it. I'm not fully blaming injuries. Again, Nyes and Matthews have been out. They're both coming back today, which is good. We've had Chris Tanev had an injury scare a couple weeks ago. Our goalies have been injured, and I'm again not blaming the injuries, but generally our play of the way we've been playing this season is almost like night and day. It's so much different to how we were playing last season, and last season we were playing so good and so effective, and this year we're just not playing like I don't know what it is.
I know what it is.
Because like the system hasn't changed, the players like kind of changed. Obviously, without Marner, it's very very big loss, and I guess it's starting to become more of a loss than we may have expected it to be. And it's just we're just in a bad state. And for me, I don't think it's a Berube problem. I think it's a management problem in terms of the guys that they've acquired and the trades that they've made over the last couple of years, or at least last season and off season. And so far, it's just not meshing and molding together whatsoever at all right now. And it's bad to be a Leafs fan right now, man. It's not easy right now, man.
I think there's a very clear problem. Obviously, Mitch Marner's gone. They scapegoated him out. They ran him out of town. They brought in Brad Treliving, which I don't think was a good move. I'm going to keep defending Kyle Dubas. There's really nothing more he could have done. I think he had a great deadline that year. They beat Tampa Bay. And they just ran into some unfortunate matchups. Like, I don't think... What has Brad Treliving really done that's benefited the team more than Dubas? I don't... Obviously, they lost Mitch Marner. That was terrible. That's why Matthews' stats have taken a hit. Nylander's had to take on a bigger role. And they don't have the depth to maintain that production. The defense is terrible. Yeah. They haven't addressed that. The goaltending's not good. Joseph Wall being out, making Stolarz taking too big of a role. Yeah. That's been absolutely atrocious. That's been a big problem. So there's a lot of clear problems with the Leafs. So, and I think the biggest one is that they let Marner go. They could as much as people complain, oh, he's not physical enough in the playoffs, and this and that. But you have to get to the playoffs first and foremost before you can even complain about that. Yeah. And Marner, he had a good playoffs. He was right up there for the team lead in points. So I think you have to keep a guy like that.
I need to stop you right there for a second, because Marner playoffs, they don't mix together. Now I will. He was the point leader last year. There are seasons where he does have good playoffs, and again, last year was one of his better playoff performances that he's had. But like we are now starting to see the outcomes of a Leafs team without much Marner, and again, it is hurting us a lot. Do I think it was ultimately worth it? No, because again, the predicament we're currently in is just not where we should be at all. But I want to go back to your point earlier about Treliving. For me, like, I agree on some topics that they mentioned there. That I do feel like he did try in a way to make the team a bit more tougher, which is something that Dubas couldn't do. And obviously, you got a Tanev, McCabe. McCabe was a Dubas trade. My bad. But Tanev was a signing. Reeves, obviously, you know what he can do. We're seeing that this year that it's making our team a lot more sluggish and slow. And usually the Leafs are more of a fast-paced, offensive, dynamic team, and that's the thing that we've been struggling with this season. I don't think the contracts have been necessarily bad. I do think the Tavares deal and getting him on a much cheaper deal was a great deal at the time. The Nyes contract to me looks great.
Yeah.
I think having both Stolarz and Woll after the years they both had under $4 million was pretty good. I just feel like it's a personnel, and the situation that we're in right now is just it's not boded well for anyone, and as a result, the coach is getting the stick for it. When I don't think it has anything to do with Berube.
I think my opinion. I think it's a combination of all the guys. Like, come on. You're going to tell me Stolarz had like a career year. Some were saying, oh, yeah, Stolarz for Vezina.
Last year was
Last year he had a really good year. And then this year he comes back, plays
it's a workload,
like terrible.
Yeah,
the defense.
It was inevitable he was going to fall off.
No. The defense is awful. Your defense is
awful.
Oh my God.
It's
as a Habs fan, it's hard to watch them play.
And the crazy thing is, last year we were actually a solid defensive team. This year
yeah,
terrible.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think personnel.
I was thinking last night, what the hell happened between last year and this year that's changed? But on the defensive side of the puck, you lose Marner. You lose Marner, who's a great defensive forward.
Great penalty killer as well.
Great penalty killer.
But that can't be it. Like you don't lose one defensive forward and then your defense falls to shit like that.
It's crazy.
They all collectively decided they were going to take a step back in their game. I guess I don't know what happened. Obviously, I think it might be a discipline issue, which now causes questions about Berube. Is he the guy? Are they going to keep him?
I don't know, man.
It could just be a discipline issue. It could be a condition.
I think Berube is one of the more disciplined coaches in the league. I think if anything, it's on the players. It's on the players. If they can't get the message across, if they don't understand what Berube is trying to say, that's on them. They need their defense to step up and play defense as a team.
They've proven they can do it before.
Did you see what Montreal was doing to them on Saturday? We all watched that game. Montreal was playing against them like the Harlem Globetrotters.
They were absolutely.
For me, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch.
Well, then what's the issue? If they've proven they can do it before, why aren't they doing now?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe
losing Marner.
Maybe they're not confident. They've lost their confidence.
And it's got to be a mix of a bunch of things. But again, I agree with. I'm on the same page as Joe here in terms of I don't think it's all Berube's fault because just because it's the same personnel of defensemen that we had from last season, and it's the same coach, same system. You know, what happened? They all got a year older. Okay.
I think maybe some of the offense is trying to say, oh, we lost Marner. Now let's step up. Let's step up. Right now we're going to be the stars. Like, bro, sorry, Max Domi's not a star. Max Domi is not a star. Nick Robertson's not a star. Nylander and Tavares are the only guys who can produce at a star level on that team. And Matthews when he's healthy.
Nyes is playing well.
And Nyes is playing well too. It's those four forwards, and then everyone else just play your role.
Yeah.
You're not Michael Jordan, you're not Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
You know, you're not the number one guy on the team. Play your damn role and stick to the play.
I agree.
You know?
That's a ripple effect of Marner leaving. Everyone's trying to do too much, and it's a huge problem. They're
play simple hockey. It's not hard. Playing defense, play on the puck, play the body, play a physical game. Like, they were getting bullied by the Habs, too. They were getting bullied by them. It was... it was crazy to watch, man. It was crazy. They need to really step their game up.
They really, really need to step their game up for sure. One team that has been stepping their game up in the last couple of weeks have been the Minnesota Wild. They obviously had a slow start. They weren't looking too good to start, and a lot of people were surprised by that. A lot of that, I don't want to shout out, but it's because of Gustafsson and how poor he was in the net. But now they have this rookie goaltender, Jesper Wallstedt, who's came in as their new backup. Obviously, Fleury left last season. Now he's the new backup goalie, and he's been absolutely tearing it up as of late. And the Wild are back in the contention for the top three in the Central again.
Yeah, they're in a top three spot, and it's not surprising because I did have them in that top three spot in my preseason rankings, and they show like last year they were right there at the top before Kaprizov got injured. Then Kaprizov got hurt. They went all the way down to the wild card. They almost missed the playoffs. So. It was really a goaltending issue for at least this season because we saw Gustafsson actually played really well last year and then he fell off this season. So it's pretty much almost entirely on him. Obviously, Matt Boldy stepped up. Eriksson Ek has been good. That line with Kaprizov has just been absolutely phenomenal. A lot of contributions from the defense on offense. So it was just a goaltending issue. There's nothing really you could point out other than Gustafsson's poor play, and now that they've got the goalie, they're a top team again.
Hey, it's good. It's good to see Minnesota playing well again. You know, Kaprizov signed that big deal with them, so you know he's gonna want them to see them play well. And They got a good forward group, man. They got a good. They still have a young forward group. They have Zeke William coming up for he's a rookie. Well. Very underrated rookie year.
Core,
You have Brock Faber. You have Jared Spurgeon. They still have Brodeen, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they still have Brodeen.
Yep.
And man, hey, if they can somehow come on top and be in that top 3 in the Central, I don't think they beat Dallas.
Yeah.
I think it was Colorado.
I think they're
Dallas.
first round exits, but I think they do get the top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sucks to see them being first.
It's a shame because they're a good team too, and they happen to be in a division and in a time in that division where the Avs and the Stars have been so dominant.
They just run the division, man. They run the division.
That's been the state of the Wild for the last 10 years. They're just so perpetually average, and they just lose in the first round every year, and it's
hey man, 2014, I still remember Game 7, Nino Niederreiter, OT winner. What a shot. That was the last time that we really felt they were going to be a contender.
Yeah.
And man, honestly, they haven't been able to step it up since then, even though they have one of the best forwards in the league.
Yeah.
A top 5 player,
probably top 5 player in the league.
Yeah,
100%.
So
he's so good.
But let's keep things in the West. We should talk about the Vancouver Canucks. Who they might. We were talking about the Sacramento Kings fire sale earlier. Vancouver might start doing the same thing.
I think Elias Pettersson has to be on the trade block at this point. It's just not working.
No,
they tried time and time again to get it to work out with Pettersson. It's just not working out.
Yeah.
He has maybe one good year, then he falls off. And then you'll have maybe a good month, and then just 4 months of poor play. It's just not working for him. And he's been in the league for how many years now? 7.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's just time to move on. I think it's just not a good fit in Vancouver. If you have a player of that talent, he was drafted 4th overall. It's time to move on.
Yeah. No, I agree as well. It's not looking well at all for Vancouver in the last couple of weeks here, and again. We mentioned it in the last episode about Quinn Hughes. What's his status going to be like? Is he going to want to go to New Jersey? Obviously, Thatcher Demko is another guy. He's a great goaltender. He's always been. He can't stay healthy. What do you do with him now?
Yeah.
And again, with Pettersson, he's just been inconsistent. And again, now with that new duel and the no move clause, it's honestly trading him is going to be harder than ever. Just because he has that no move clause and it kicks in.
The other day, actually, Jim Rutherford was talking to media, and he said this. I believe Quinn and his agent are aware of the direction we want to go, and they're aware of the direction that they want to go. Everyone wants to play on a winning team, but there's different reasons why people make decisions.
That guy says everything.
So, first of all, it's just so shocking to me that Jim Rutherford led team in the 2020s is struggling. What a shocker there.
Honestly, man, he's gotta get make a decision. Because you have the second best D-man of this generation on your team.
Yeah.
You gotta either send him to New Jersey, let him play on a contending team with his brother. If they get Quinn, they're probably Stanley Cup contenders right now. And if Jack can stay healthy. Or you just continue to let the guy, try and carry the Vancouver Canucks on his back and bring them to
it's just
poor guy, man.
It's not a lack of talent. It's just they don't have a system where they can bring out all that talent with Pettersson, Besser struggling. Yeah. Virtually every star player, even when they had JT Miller, he was struggling. So it has to be a system problem because. How is it that all these star players are struggling? I think they just have to tear it down, rebuild, trade Hughes, trade everyone, and just build up. And
they got to accept the rebuild, man,
and try and build a new core of players because whatever you have with this core, it's just not going to work out. Your best chance was when you forced Game 7 against Edmonton. You couldn't get it done. Obviously, injuries that year.
Yeah,
but that was your best chance, and it's highly, highly unlikely you're going to get a better chance with that. Than that.
100%.
They got to accept the inevitable and go into a rebuild.
Because last year was a year filled of troubles to begin with, and we saw a lot of warning signs last season.
Yeah.
And this season, they're all coming to life right now. It's just not going.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. But we should move on to our next topic and talk about the Team Canada Olympics. So last time we did our goalie predictions.
Yes.
Now this week we are doing our D-man predictions.
Correct.
Christian, you want to start us off with yours?
So I think we have probably all the first pair. It's a given. It's Taze, it's Makar, the chemistry there, the NHL teammates.
That's a no-brainer.
We have to have them. Makar is the best defenseman in the world. It's not even close. And then for the second line, it gets a bit interesting, but I'm going to go Josh Morrissey. Obviously, great offensive instincts, still responsible. Thomas Harley has really elevated his game. Had a good 4 Nations. I'd love to have him back on that second pair for the team. And then I'm going to go Shea Theodore. He's been a great defenseman for many, many years, since early 2020s, even previous to that. So I think he has to be on the team because he's so good defensively and he contributes to offense. And then for physicality, I actually do have a surprise pick. I'm going to put Colton Parenko. I love the energy he brought during the 4 Nations. And then for extras, I'm going to go Doughty for experience. And then I do have the rookie first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer, just because he's had an amazing season. What he's doing at 18 years old for a defenseman is unheard of. So I just got to give him that recognition. And that'll be my 8.
I think that's a good set of pairings. You know, I'll say mine right now. I have some differences. So obviously, starting off, I have Taze and Makar, no doubt about that. And then my second pairing is Morrissey and Theodore. I really like Morrissey. Like, I've been so impressed with his play this year. Yeah. And he's on a winning team in Winnipeg. I think he's second in D-man points right now, I'm pretty sure, with like 21 and 23. So he's been having a great year. And then on the right side, I have Theodore, because Theodore is used to playing on the right side with McNabb. So I like that pairing. You know, I think they're both shut down defenders. And they can also play an offensive game when it has to happen. Right. And then on my third line, I do have Thomas Harley. I really liked his game in the 4 Nations. A responsible defender who can produce if he needs to on offense. You know, like, plays for a winning team. He's been in big moments before. He's played in the 4 Nations finals. You know, I think that's very vital to the Olympics. And then I also have a bit of a surprise. I have Drew Doughty as my right winger. I have him not as an extra. I have him on the roster for the experience. You know, he's a shot blocker. He's a penalty killer, man. Like, he's won a cup before. He's won a couple cups before.
Gold medals as well, too.
Yeah, gold medals. He's played in the Olympics before, man. He was there with Crosby back in 2014. I love the guy, man. So I don't see why you leave him off the team. And he's got great experience, locker room chemistry. And then for my extras, I have Matthew Schaefer. Just, you know, I don't think you can leave him off this team. With what he's doing this season, you can say he's a rookie, bro.
It's historic.
He's been playing out of this world. He should be on the team. I don't care. Experience, not experience, he has to be on the team. I think we can all agree on that.
100%.
And then on my right side for my extras, I have Noah Dobson. You know, as a Habs fan, I've seen him play this whole season. I've really liked his play. And I think that he sometimes he fumbles with the puck, but his offensive game, if a guy like maybe Theodore or Morrissey gets injured, he can step up into that role and play an offensive game. But he's also good on defense. He can kill penalties. So it's going to be really interesting what they do. But George, let's hear yours.
Again, my top pair, no changes here. Taze and Makar, again, like you said, chemistry. They're a cup-winning top pair. Makar's the best defenseman in the world. They're one of the best pairings in the league, and they haven't for the last 5 so years. So and that's a no-brainer for everyone. I actually have Harley with Theodore because I do like the idea that they can both play, that they both have played both sides with Dallas and with Vegas respectively, and I do think they have a good dynamic. Obviously, Theodore is more I find is more of an offensive-minded guy than defensive, but Harley has more, can stay back and be a solid, reliable defender. And then on my third pair, Josh Morrissey again, just get some more depth in the defensive unit, and I think Morrissey again, like you said, great season, great player. Absolutely unbelievable this season. And on the right side, to actually make the team and make my third pairing, I have the first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer. I think what he's done this season has been very, very good. And given the fact that it is the Olympic ice, obviously a larger sheet of ice, and with his skating and back-checking ability, I think that's going to be so pivotal, especially against the American teams, and against your Quinn Hughes, against your Adam Foxes. And I think that having him in the team is going to be absolutely pivotal, or at least to make the roster, even as an extra, or if he's in the lineup or not. I do think that he has to go to that flight to Milan 100% for the Olympics.
Yes.
But extras, I love your point of Drew Doughty. Again, he's won gold in 2010 and in 2014. He brings the experience to the locker room. He's a great locker room presence as well. Multiple-time Cup winners. He was at the 4 Nations last year. He knows what it takes to win big games. And I think him at least being there, if he gets game time or not, that's not for us to decide. But if he at least gets there and gets on that plane, I think all will be well with Canada's defensive core. And my other extra would be Mackenzie Weegar, just because of veteran presence and just because he's able to play both sides because he has been doing it for Calgary for the last couple of years. And I think he's a solid, reliable defenseman and brings some physicality to the team as well.
Yeah, I want to shine some light on Christian's point with Colton Parayko. I don't know. I kind of like that. Colton Parayko.
I loved watching him in the Four Nations.
The physicality is a good point because obviously it is the Olympics, so you want faster guys.
Obviously, the reason I mentioned the physicality is because there's guys like Sam Bennett who would usually bring that physicality, which do not have the skill anymore to be on the team.
I agree.
You got to keep up that physicality somehow. Because I don't know. I don't think Sam Bennett should make the team. Tom Wilson is a maybe for me right now.
Yeah.
So you kind of need that physicality in the bottom of the
You need something to go up against, the Chuck brothers. You need someone to go up against them. Obviously, a guy like, they can, Parayko can drop the gloves, but I don't think they do that. There's no fighting in the Olympics, is there?
I don't think there's going to be fighting.
Right?
That was just...
There's no... That was just...
They didn't even fight in the finals of the Four Nations. That was just a group stage thing. They've got it out of their system.
You got some physical kind of a bit dirty, get into your face guys.
Maybe one breaks out if Matthew Tkachuk does his dirty hit.
If the Americans try something, bro.
But just one, and we've got our guy for just 1-5. We've got Colton Parayko.
Yeah, you got Colton. Yeah. We do have Jordan Binnington. You don't want to mess with Jordan Binnington, man. You don't want to mess with him. You don't want to mess with him. You don't want to mess with him. So if the U.S. tries something, I could really see someone stepping in and but. I think that's the only thing that we really have to be worried about with the U.S. is kind of we saw it in the Four Nations. We saw how physical they were.
Yeah.
We have to be able to counteract that.
Yeah.
If they, but the thing is, I don't know. I remember I was a kid. We were all kids when the Olympics happened in 2014. So we'll have to see how they are with the whistle, right?
Yeah.
That's going to really tell.
For a long time. And again, for a lot of these players, a lot of them have not been... are not played in the Olympic style hockey before. It's really only Crosby, Doubt if he makes
maybe
the team.
Marchand if he makes it.
Marchand, if he makes the team.
Yeah.
So it's really not many guys, and they got to get a real good understanding of the rules before, obviously.
Yep, I agree. But keep staying on the topic of dirtiness. Mikko Rantanen suspended for a game.
Yeah,
man.
Second time he's done this too, eh? Second time.
Yep, second time. Yep, second 2 games in a row.
Second time, and one of them, he injured Romanov for quite a while as well. So.
Yep, 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I don't
more.
Really?
It's a long
I
time.
thought it was months.
It's a few months.
Oh my god!
Months, yeah.
That was
no way,
a dirty hit. A really dirty hit.
I don't know.
I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around that. You're arguably a top 10 talent in the league.
Yeah.
It's nearing the end of the game, I believe.
Yeah, it was a minute left.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you thinking in your head? Now you're not available to your team. You just hurt a guy for months. You can't be doing that. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard. And
I agree.
There's nothing much more to say than it's a dirty hit.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Suspension definitely worth it. But yeah, let's end off. Let's do our 2 last segments. We have shoot or pass.
Yep.
So I'm going to say mine first. I got LeBron will not retire at the end of the season. Now, my reasoning behind this, I know he's turning 41 years old this year. My reasoning behind this is because I think he'll want... LeBron's the type of guy to have this whole reunion and this retirement tour.
100%.
He likes the spotlight.
Yep.
I think it'll be next year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So
100%. I 100% agree with that. He's going to want the tour. It'll be hyped up and marketed, and even if Bronny James is getting more minutes, it gives him some extra time to play with his son. So I think agree. It 100% makes sense for him to play another season.
Yep. Yeah. Well, my take here is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and a lot of feathers of Jays fans, including myself. I think Bichette leaves the Jays and joins the Red Sox. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but something tells me he's not going to stay in Toronto, and he's going to go anywhere. It's going to be Boston. I don't know why.
The Red Sox
have a bad feeling about it.
They're a young team. They have Roman Anthony. They have Cedar Rafaela. They have good pitching. They are Crochet. They might sign some more guys. I think it's really going to come down to who signs the first big fish. If the Jays can sign a guy like Imai, or if they sign, even if they get Bichette back right away, then all the guys are going to gonna kind of like divert to the Jays first as their number one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna have to pass on that. I think he sticks with the Jays.
I hope it's a pass.
But it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout.
I'm gonna pass as well. I just can't imagine that after all they went through, like everything that happened there, like this close, literally this close, an inch away.
Yeah.
He's not gonna run it back with that group. I can't imagine he doesn't want to do that. So I think he's gonna stay. They're gonna have to work something out, but.
For me, honestly, the reason why I say that take is not because of Bo Bichette and his camp. I do think he said it. He said after the game he wants to be here. He made it clear he wants to be here. For me, my concern is with Ross Atkins because
you think he's not gonna get enough money.
I just don't. Yeah. I don't know.
I think he understands he has to pay. Like obviously he paid.
Hopefully he does now. After
he paid with Vladdy.
Sure.
I think he understands. Like Bo is right up there. He's such an integral part of the team.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah.
He has to. If you're serious about contending, you realistically don't have a choice but to re-sign him.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I hope
Christian,
he does,
what's your shooter pass for today?
My shooter pass is going to be either the Rams or the Seahawks to come out and make the Super Bowl and represent the NFC West.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. It's not a bad one actually, but it's going to be hard, man. The Eagles.
Can they take out the Eagles? That's a big question.
I mean, they're such a playoff team, dude. They're such a playoff team.
The champions right now.
They're such a playoff team, too, though, man. I don't know. It's going to be hard.
That's a really good one.
Especially how dominant they were last year, the Eagles, in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know.
I'm going to say yes. I think the Rams can do it.
Of course.
I think that Matthew Stafford's the clear MVP right now. Puka Nacua, they've added Devontae Adams, and they were the closest team to beating the Eagles last year. And that was in Philadelphia. If the Rams get a home game against Philadelphia, I could definitely see them winning that game. So
a home game,
I think the Rams are probably my number one team to go to the Super Bowl right now. The Seahawks maybe not, but I'd say the Rams could definitely represent that division in the Super Bowl, and it wouldn't surprise me.
I see where you're coming from. I'm definitely on the same page as you. I am gonna pass on the take, but I do agree with that. If there's any team out of those two, particularly, to beat the Eagles, it's the Rams.
Right.
And if they have the home advantage, then my opinion will change on that. But for now, just because of how dominant the Eagles have been, or at least the last couple of years, and obviously last year they're the defending champs right now. And again, like we said, in the playoffs, they turned it up they turned up the notch a little bit. I do think that I'm going to pass on that just on that basis. But again, I do think that the Rams can definitely challenge them, or at least
pretty much anything. They've got a young,
them,
hungry defense. Puka Nacua is one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Devontae Adams has been a top 10 receiver this year. Kyron's a great running back. Matthew Stafford's been the best player in the league.
And he's also a Super Bowl champion, as well as Sean McVay. And they also won a couple years ago. They had the experience. They know what it takes to get there,
If someone's going to beat the Eagles, it's just got to be them.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
It's time for our last segment of the day.
Christian's favorite segment
of
the day.
Christian, you want to start us off? We got some big games tomorrow in the NFL. What's your takes?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Cowboys plus 3.5 against the Chiefs. The reason why, they're both coming off huge wins. Obviously, the Chiefs played the Colts. They beat them in overtime. They're going to be a bit tired, having to play some extra football in overtime, traveling down to Dallas on a short week. Obviously, the Cowboys riding some huge momentum from a home win against the Eagles. Dak Prescott has actually played better than Mahomes this year. So, again, obviously that Cowboys group is very motivated. They want to make the playoffs. The Cowboys are 3-1-1 at home. The Chiefs have won one game on the road this entire year. So, I think that plus 3.5 for the Cowboys to cover, I think it's a pretty good bet. So, that'll be my bet of the night.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I'm going for the Bengals-Ravens game. Taking Ravens money line. I think it's pretty safe bet. Joe Burrow's been out for a little while. He's still going to be out for tomorrow's game. And the Ravens need to stack wins. They need to win some games.
And even if Burrow somehow is cleared, I don't see them winning. They don't have the defense.
I agree. So that's my take. I think the Ravens can roll over them.
They have too many weapons on offense. Lamar Jackson stopping that guy is hard. And Derrick Henry as well is very, very tough. Not easy for anyone. And then for me, I'm gonna have my bet is gonna be about the Packers-Lions game, the first game of tomorrow's 3-game slate on Thursday football. I have the under for the total points. It's at 47.5 right now, I believe. I have the under for that. I feel like, again, it's the great defense of the Packers meeting the very, very high and talented offense of the Lions, and I think we're going to have a bit of a scoring rut. I do think it will be close. I'm not saying it's not going to be far away from that. It's going to be like a 10-7 game. No way. There will be a lot of touchdowns. It will be a very, very excellent and a lot of exciting offensive football in that game as well. But I think overall, take the strengths and the weaknesses of both teams, I think this game goes under 47 points for the total score. And on that note, we're gonna wrap things up here. We want to thank you all for watching again. Make sure you check out our Spotify and our Apple Podcasts, and as well as subscribe and like to our YouTube channel if you haven't already.
And also, check out Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
We're on all socials.
We have a lot of content going on there as well.
Yep.
Shorts, clips from the thing, behind-the-scenes content, and more stuff like that. It will be all over there. And you know how it works. I'm George. That's Joseph. That's Christian. We're the Spread Podcast, and we're out of here.